We have a couple of awards that we're going to give away. I would like to introduce our chairman, Harlan Kerr. Harlan is from San Francisco, California. He is currently serving as the chair of the Board of Governors.
I hate microphones on these things. Yeah. One of the greatest honors that we can give anyone in CALLERLAB is the Milestone Award. The Milestone Award is an award of people who over time have done outstanding work that contributes to the history and the future of square dancing and calling. Tonight it's my pleasure to be able to present one of those awards for the first time. Usually when the Milestone Award is presented, the names are kept quiet until the end of the speech. And slowly as the speech unrolls, everyone in the audience figures out who it is. I've decided to break that tradition tonight. And early on in my presentation, I'm going to name the recipient of this award. It is my pleasure to present the CALLERLAB Milestone Award to an amazing team. A team that has done an incredible amount of work, both for calling and square dancing in general. When you think of all the people, all that this couple has contributed to calling and dancing, they are seen as a natural choice for the CALLERLAB Milestone Award. Barry and Pam Clasper began square dancing in 1973. Barry moved on to calling in 1984 and calls SSD through C4 and has taught many classes and hundreds of dancers in the Toronto area. He really loves teaching beginner callers and beginner dancers, even though he does call at the C4 level as well. He has taught many caller school as our most recent accredited caller coach, and I have had the pleasure to serve in caller school with him, where he does an amazing job. In addition, Barry has written a number of incredible articles, particularly back in the 80s, which is that ancient history, because Barry's same age as me. Back in the 80s, Barry wrote several articles, some of which held tests of time, and some of which I pass out at my caller schools, which I pass out to some of my dancers, I pass out at my clubs. Two of my favorite ones of his, and two of his greatest articles are How Good is Good. If you haven't read it, I suggest you look at his website and get it. And my favorite article that I pass out to every angel in every class I teach, How May I Help? There's also a really unique article that Barry wrote that is a humorous article called The Ultimate Call. It pops up now and again, and if you get a chance to read it, it's sort of where the saying, go over there and turn around comes, or don't go over there and turn around, or turn around and stay here. It's a good article, I suggest you read it. Over the years, Barry and Pam have become the go-to presenters for CALLERLAB convention and have always had great presentations, great handout, and great information for the people who attend their presentation. Barry's service to CALLERLAB includes chairman of the board from 2013 to 2015, executive committee member from 2011 to 2017, member of the Board of Governors since 2009 and currently, chairman of the Challenge Committee, chair of the Past Chairs Committee, participating member in several CALLERLAB committees, again, newest accredited coach. Barry calls across Canada and the US and has called in 9 countries overseas. In Barry's second year as chair, an interesting thing happened. There was a brainstorming session at the convention where hundreds of ideas for recruitment and retaining dancers and callers were discussed. This generated Barry's huge project, the CALLERLAB knowledge base. Barry and Pam brought home all the ideas from that brainstorming session and put them together, and it grew into the knowledge base, and it is something that provides an incredible resource to dancers and callers across the world. Barry and Pam have been recognized before. In 2017, Barry and Pam were honored with the Trillium Merit Award by the Ontario Square Dance and Round Foundation for their significant contribution to square dancing in Ontario. In 2018, Barry and Pam were given the Golden Boot Award for outstanding contribution to the IGSDC. Pam Clasper has contributed CALLERLAB in many ways on her own. Most notably, she is chair of the History Committee and is responsible for providing the leadership in identifying and preserving materials that represent, depict, and record the history of CALLERLAB. These include documents, pictures, and other materials regardless of media. An important additional function is the documentation of ways of making both members and non-members aware of the history of CALLERLAB and preserving the CALLERLAB history for the future. Like Barry, Pam works almost daily on various aspects of preserving the history of CALLERLAB and other square dance organizations. Pam serves as chair of the Research and Development Committee with a focus on pursuing research and development on topics important to the sustainability and promotion of CALLERLAB and square dancing. In addition, Pam manages and chairs the IGSDC History Project, which documents and archives the history of the IGSDC. Pam is also the founder of the All Join Hands Canada Foundation, which provides fundraising and support for a variety of IGSDC projects, including collar schools and funds for opening and developing new clubs. Pam has served as part of the convention orientation team for many years and presented many times at the convention, where she has given a variety and wide range of presentations on numerous topics. The gestalt of their work and collaboration cannot be underestimated. Pam and Barry have truly changed square dancing and calling for the better, and in a way that will endure the future. They have made a wide-scale difference in all that we do as callers and dancers, and all we would do in the future, and by having the knowledge and background that they have preserved. In their participation and leadership in calling and square dance communities, both Pam and Barry are outstanding models of professional conduct, impeccable professional leadership and behavior, and thinking of the preservation and betterment of calling and square dancing first. Their day-to-day participation in our activity is an expression of the CALLERLAB Code of Ethics. Their personal relationship is the epitome of what a caller and partner relationship should be. I would go so far as to say that they set the gold standard for professionalism and leadership. Thus it is with great pleasure that I present Pam and Barry Clasper with CALLERLAB Milestone Award.
This is just unbelievable. we just never, ever expect anything like this. What we do for square dancing, we just do because it's a labor of love. Square dancing has taken us so many places we never thought we would go. It has given us a second family. It's just, I'm just flabbergasted.
I think we'll probably remember this particular CALLERLAB convention. It's, as Pam was saying, we got into square dancing, and the fact that it's even as a couple or a team award is really significant, because the original reason we got into square dancing was that we could spend one night a week together. We got into this routine where, you know, one of us was doing something while the other was babysitting, and then vice versa.
We had a 3-year-old and a 2-week-old when we started.
And square dancing afforded us the opportunity to sort of maintain that team feeling about a recreational activity. And when we got into CALLERLAB, I wasn't really that interested in joining CALLERLAB at first. When I first started calling in the U.S., I thought, well, I guess I got to get this licensing thing that they talk about. And that was why I joined CALLERLAB. But over the years, some people suggested, and after a while nagged, that we should probably join. And the one who finally tipped it for me was Clark Baker and John Sobolski had both been sort of encouraging us to join CALLERLAB. And they showed me a picture of the two of them at one of the CALLERLAB conventions. I don't remember which one it was. And Clark was wearing a jacket and tie. I thought, well, any organization that can get Clark Baker into a jacket and tie, it's got to have something going for it. So we joined and started coming to conventions in 2000.
93 was our first convention.
We went to a couple, and then it was sort of a layoff for a few years, and then we started coming regularly.
2004, everyone.
And along the way, you know, various people helped us feel part of the community. Ed Foote was probably the first. He managed to dragoon me into becoming chairman of the Challenge Committee. And when I found out that he served as the chairman for 30 years just before I joined, I was starting to wonder whether it was a service or a sentence. And it sort of progressed from there. There's lots of people in this room that I now count among my dearest friends, even though we don't see you, except for here, once or twice a year. We really thank you for the opportunity to join in the community and to serve the community and to feel as welcome as we do. We can't believe this. So I'm going to stop now.